Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a good day so far. Hello, EO. Welcome in. You were first. I don't know if anyone else is here yet. Sorry we are getting started so late. It's a rough day. Christ. We're going to try and play some Esoteric M. I might talk about stuff later in the stream when more people have shown up. But for now, try and just keep ourselves entertained. Yeah. I did figure out, I've been talking about how I haven't been able to find the fucking printing press. I went and looked it up. I have found where the printing press is supposed to be. I don't know why. It hasn't let me in yet. So we're going to try and figure out what's up with that. But the last thing we did is we found what appears to be an ancient snailfolk jail with a number of highly powerful beings. Some sort of eldritch monster that we traded some information with. And this old map, which is interesting, but I don't feel like looking at it right now. But yeah, in this big pool of water is an eldritch monster who might not actually be trapped here. Might just be hanging out here. But we found a bound chimera down this tunnel. A heavily bound snail folk that's asked us to save their partner. An Ifrit who's very angry and wants us to let them go. And someone that we can't understand. We also currently have 2 levels of exhaustion because I had the shit beat out of me by a troll. And then by our assassin, who's been chasing us all game. The assassin, turns out, was bound to the eldritch monster, and is no longer, and is Lord Darrow's daughter. So that is very interesting, and we will definitely need to look into it more soon. We also found our Frank son of Frank, who is a merchant lord, who basically saw the scene and then fled. So we really don't have much more information. One thing he did do, he had glasses of detect magic, and with those glasses of detect magic, he saw an invisible person on fire flee and then enter the tunnels. Something I'm not sure about here. There's something down here, and I don't know how to get to it yet. I might have an ability to ride the water later, but there's definitely, if I hit engage, I guess I just look down. Okay. You step on the edge. The vast undersea chasm greets you, its teal mist looking inviting. Look at the wall beneath you. On it you see a colorful depiction of a battle. Snails versus a dragon. The red scales, the many-colored flames. This is Isuth, the wild dragon who claimed this land for his own. The archetypical tyrant. Fire! Oh, whoops. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry about that. Hi, Moselle. Sorry, my brain is a bit scrambled at the moment. I was on Blue Sky to check my, post my link, say I'm going live. I think I even forgot to, you know what? While I'm sitting here for a second, I'll go ahead and go to my profile and make sure that I've actually gone live. I just saw Aaron in the morning's most recent post about the fucking Supreme Court's ruling that is fucking shit on the last day of Pride. Some absolute evil stuff. Fucking Supreme Court needs to be fully purged and reworked from the ground up. It does not function as it currently is. It is meant to be a apolitical force, and it is extremely political with lifetime appointments that have almost no way to challenge. Instituted by political figures. It is a absolute fucking mess, and it has got to go. It's got to be completely reworked. How bad is it? They ruled on several things today, all very badly. But the one that has upset me is that they have ruled that Title IX defines when Title IX refers to sex, it refers to and must be biological sex only. They don't then go on to explain what they think biological sex is because they don't fucking have an argument. And then also, even the fucking liberal justices were like, no one's disputing that men have a natural advantage in sports, except that is pseudoscience as well. So it fucking sucks. And basically this means that all transgender children have been effectively banned from all sporting activities and possibly just clubs in general that compete at all in schools. Combine that with the fact that COSA passed the House yesterday. If COSA passes, we're rapidly approaching a world where kids cannot go on the internet. Transgender kids cannot do any school activities. Kids can't go outside and play because we've created a fucking nasty hellscape where you can't loiter anywhere unless you have money. So what is a poor child to do? You can't do anything at school. You can't get on the internet at home. You can't go outside and play. It's bullshit. And their legal arguments aren't even good. I don't know how good or not good their legal argument for this was, but several rulings this year by the Supreme Court have been noted by legal scholars as being bunk, like non-arguments. Like you would get barred as a level 1 judge for writing this kind of slop. But they have no accountability. And like a lot of old people in politics right now, they don't care. They're trying to get as rich as they can in their twilight years before they pass away, and they don't care that they're going to leave a worse earth for the rest of us. It is all about short-term financial gain. So, yeah. So sorry about not having the game on screen, and also sorry about being so angry. I am going to try to focus on the game for us to have something to distract ourselves with and have a good time about. But yeah, the entire Supreme Court needs to be purged. We need a new head of our court system, one that is not appointed by politicians, and one that is not for life. No political position should have lifetime appointment. You have every right. Thanks, Moselle. I appreciate it. And thanks for telling me that I didn't have the game on screen. I would have noticed eventually, but I appreciate someone noticing before me. Fortunately, I hadn't interacted with anything yet other than this portrait. Or mural. Fire. Lovely artwork. Must be esoterically scratched in or something, if it survived all this time in this musty place. Can you be as it is? Listen to her. I see you. Meet Iomestra. We've done it. We are talking to the ultimate wall. We can do this. 19 or 18. The game seems to have a minor bug with the game seems to have a minor issue with Meek lowers my DCs by 1, but doesn't lower them in the chat box for some reason. It is well, Ming. A great connection. You answer. Get closer. Kneel down, touch the stone. You feel it twist beneath you, turning wide, swallowing, consuming every flake of skin off your surface. All of it, to have you melt away into the stone. This is it. Yes, the lowest point of architectural, infrastructural, ontological, megatonical base. The lowest point in the city. This is where she watches. Greetings. Focus. Greetings, young one. Oh, that's a new voice. There's no need to beware. I am in no way in opposition to your goals. That's an ominous way to start a conversation. I should be more clear then. I ask nothing of you, nothing but a word. Right, I believe you. Yet your mind plays with other possibilities. The vast choices of a man in charge, one steeped in deep divides and cloven paths. I wish to see you, close and near. For you are being watched by one such ignorant flame, and I know not why. You need to explain yourself, I'm lost. The voice turns into a vast wind soaring above the misty chasm. Then it forms once more into words, that feminine sigh seeping into your ears. I am Iomestra, the second apprentice. I hold no sovereignty over these lands, nor do I wish to uphold any divine delusions. I am a ghost, trapped in stone, bound by duty. What is your duty? My duty is to this place, purely as a location. I am its shepherd, a custodian. I keep it from breaking apart in the splitting of its seams. That is all. And who trapped you here? I cannot say. You're not allowed to say? That is correct. Yet I cannot tell you more. What's it like being in the wall? It's nothing, mostly. My perception is not the same as yours, young one. I need to strain to push myself in order to even have this regular conversation. Cannot do this often or readily. What did you want to tell me then? In truth, I cannot tell you anything. And why is that? For the same reason this realm exists. For that, I am sorry. It is selfish of me to steal this fray from you. I hope you find it in your heart to forgive me. Your goblin companion is nervously looking around. Oh, this woman, this accursed ghost, she's already placed something on you. You are dead. All the strings around your body are disconnecting, one by one. Starting to get worried here. It is already done. Do not fret. Instead, listen. I see clearly the magnificent non-impact of your death. That is why you are being watched. You are one in a magnitude, most likely. A simple mortal with a faint inclination for the esoteric, whose strings somehow align themselves with that ultimate split. The 50-50. Start to feel sick. If you truly are watched, and if you truly have this potential, seek 3 things. Number 1, do not attempt to speak with me, or you will end in another fray. Number 2, attempt instead to speak the keyword for the hidden cache within this mural of Esuth. This will remove the power stone, disallowing this conversation from ever taking place. And finally, number 3, seek not to uncover the secret of the ignorant flames. The glimpses so far have been curse enough upon your string. Hi Thomas, welcome in. How are you? Feel blood rushing to your eyes and mouth. Remember this keyword, young one. Remember. The keyword is... It is Lugal Me En. Then you see Snell yelling at the top of his lungs something about healing magic. Then fall over the edge. Cleric? Feel nothing in the end. Nothing but a feminine sigh. Reach the end. Your body is consumed by some ancient curse. You die before you even hit the gravity flip. Lugal Me En. I'm pretty sure that the wall was talking to us. Because now I am pretty certain that we can go and talk to the wall and say Lugal Me En. Well, I guess now you guys get to see the stuff that wasn't on screen because I was dumb earlier. Lugal Me En. I wonder if the game's code has subtly updated. That even though we've loaded in an old save now, Lugal Me En will be an option. Whoops, wrong way. I can't get that helmet yet. I want it, but I can't have it. Alright. You guys ready? You step out on the edge. The vast undersea chasm greets you. Its teal mist looks inviting. Look at the wall beneath you. On it, you see a colorful depiction of battle. Snails versus a dragon. Can you? Be as it is. Lugal Me En. As the sound leaves your lips, the wall beneath you appears to react. Leaning out to see better, you see a glimpse of light growing from the center of the mural, right at the heart of the drake. What's that light? A cache hidden within the mural. Secrets, unlocked via the ancient snail tongue. I unlocked something secret. Oh, cool. From the depth, slowly rising, a stone, faintly glowing, floating towards you. As it approaches, you sense the air around it. It tangles. The stone arrives right in front of you. Grab it. Ion Stone, Fortitude. You touch the intense magic item with your gloved hand. It's obvious this is an Ion Stone. An intensely legendary magic item. Neat. They were mass-produced during the Coast War, though. So many of them are used to power industries these days. Meaning it's worth a fortune if you could manage to sell it. Ain't exactly easy to find that kind of buyer. Not when you're a city official. Shit. The towers will not allow you to keep it either. But for now, it's yours. Whatever whispers you heard in the wall are now gone. As you stand at the ledge, all you hear is the silence of the chasm beneath. Did I know the passphrase? It does appear peculiar. Could simply be an esoteric effect, your essence reacting with that of the mural. How strange. Nice find. Enjoy your new Ion Stone. That was cool. I liked that a lot. I thought it was neat. Alright, what's my new funny magic rock do? A legendary magic item, probably produced during the Arcane era. Though its shape shows a more primal design than you'd imagine from a modern craftsman, it floats around your head as you walk. +3 constitution. Well, let's take this shield off. Put the rock on. There we go. Look at that. 22 constitution. My walls indeed. Alright. And the other thing we got recently is that we can now use the pillar to fast travel. Which is great. Because I can now... This is someplace we're going to want to investigate, but also... interesting that it had us walk in. Kind of thought it'd have us come through. Okay, so... The door over here that says Simeon Sons, Simeon son of Strokeback, should be the thing. I have no idea why it never worked before now. I swear I checked this door before. You approach the green door. Check who lives here. Glance at the door. It says Simi. The Asgulls. Nice guy. Knock. You knock twice in a polite fashion. That was very low. They probably didn't hear you. Wait. Standing in the pillar crossing like this, just waiting. It's common. I think they heard the cleric. Bang on the door. Within seconds, a slit in the door slides open. From within, you see the glance of a hairy face. No milk. Why not? Why not? You hear a grumble on the other side of the door. Huh? Oh, it's you. Hey, you remember me? I do. The clerics that didn't interfere at all. Well, you weren't in the way for us, but I have to ask. And I need to ask you, Mr. Cityman. You a friend or a foe of the movement? Friend. Good. As long as you're a friend, I suppose we could answer some questions. But I don't quite believe you. He sounds conflicted. Are you really an Asgul? I need to prove I'm an Asgul? Yes, you do. DC 5, prove you're an Asgul. I got Snell with me. Under the effects of enhanceability, I'm exhausted. Snell knows them. You sided with Modisa. Meek keeps an eye out. Yeah, I only failed this on a nat 1. On a double nat 1, even. 27. I don't quite believe you. I'm a real Asgul. A real dwarf! Take a deep breath. What are you? Scream, sing the Asgalian folk scorn. We own the mines. In Dwarvish. Oh, here we go. We're gonna do it. You guys ready? Sing along if you know the words. Håll mina vänner från djupet där hammare klinga i evig ball. Vi som får land i mörkrest ska nu på ytan bli en gäst. Vi äger gruvorna, vi äger stenen. Vart svek och blodbygg denna scenen. Från tunnelarens djup till stadens port. Asgallens tid är kommen kort. Everyone in Pillar Crossing is now looking in your direction. Good. You don't? Well, now you do. You absolute embarrassment. Snell takes out his fingers from his ears. You done? Everyone heard your voice from the deepest corner of the city below. As your voice fades from the deepest echo of the earth, Alphaz mumbles out something from beyond the door. Please stop, Mr. Cityman. You leave me now. Yes. Yes. Please, just stop. I don't need the rationale to sing the International. Your best display appears to have made him pity you to such a degree that he's willing to let bygones be bygones. This groundbreaking approach to social manipulation is truly horrifying. He closes the slit. You hear some yelling from beyond. Then you hear a click in the door. It is open. Time to make some friends? Okay, then. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Unity of all folk. Oh, there's so many things here. The copper press, the most important invention in the arcane era. Let us try to rehold Modisa again. I can't believe I botched it so hard last time. There we go, 22. Chaotic neutral. Ooh. DC 23, I'm off by 1. A girl on a mission. She's out to fight for the green, no matter the battle. Her brash exterior is no fakery. It is her heart worn on each of her sleeves. Responsibility, that is the weight she feels weighing upon her shoulders. Modisa does not see herself, her ego, as having any greater meaning. Rather, that meaning has been transposed from others, her mentor, her friends, but most importantly, her ideology. Alphas. We will get everything here. Lawful neutral. Level 3 foreman. He stands by his ideals with gut and little s. A push will earn his respect. That is his way. Alphas knows he's privileged. He hates it. His ideals clash with his blood. At his core, he fights for glory. Empathy does not spark his heart. He wants to earn admiration and legend. Interesting. And Simeon the boys. Didn't gain much. Second son kind of person, lives in the shadow of greater men. There's another door. There's a glorious and powerful symbol of a Viscog champion. Alright. Let's talk to her.
Oh.
The human woman frantically checks the pipes and rolling cogs on the thick copper press. Her focus is on the machine. Mr. Cleric, you keep popping up. I'm here to help the cause. You are? Okay. I guess you've already proved yourself. Thanks to you, we got the papers delivered with a slight delay. Totally worth it, though, just to see those assholes' faces when we told them off. Royo and his idiot friends keep interrupting at the worst possible opportunities. Maybe now they'll finally stop. But I'm busy here. Very busy. Can you be quick? Whatever it is you're here for. Why do we have to have this quiet HWBT guy with you? He weirds me out. Look, I'm here just an observer, or a cleric handler, I guess. She lets out a short laugh. Okay, I get it. Cleric handler, that's good. Snell shrugs. Alright. Is there anything I can do to be of assistance? She looks you up and down. You really want to help? Yeah. Okay then. I do have a quest for you if you're up for it. A quest? Stare at her and breathe loudly. Yes, give me the quest. It's more of a task, really. Like a fetch quest. If it's got quest in the title, I'm up for it. Look, I've got a massive final printout before Election Day. It's going to be our best edition yet. I've already written an article that shows my vision for a radical and egalitarian revolution of Norvik. It'll be distributed all over the city, countryside included. But we're tight on ink. They must need a special type of ink to print with copper sheets. Is it hard to get this ink? Yes, mostly because everyone needs it. I usually get some off a vendor I know, but they are indisposed at the moment. Election stuff, you know. Why is she lying about this vendor? From what I understand, the entire shipment of Quillwell cartridges is just stuck in the Guild warehouse. Ah, that would be where our bird friend was hiding. Since I only need a single set of cartridges to finish off the election edition, I could just walk in there and snatch it. I've even paid for it already. But the Ascani Reeds Trade Company controls it, and they will not let me inside. Not in 100 eras. I'll get it for you. If you want to help the cause, that's one way to do it. It'll actually allow us to reach the entire city on election day instead of just, like, 60% of it. Tell me more about this vendor of yours? She shrugs. Some shady guy I barely know. Got the contract from my predecessor. I've already been to the warehouse. You have? Great. Just get inside again. Did you sneak in, or are you friends with the AR? You don't want to know. Okay, well, just get back in and get me my ink then. Please. Remember to be polite. A rare treat from her. Didn't see any ink when I was in there last time. The box won't be just labeled ink, obviously. It should be labeled as Coleridge R Special Cartridge Quill Wells. Just look around. I know the shipment's just sitting in there. Got it. Good. Alright, that's all for now. I'll ask her more questions in a bit, but for now I'm just going to get her ink. I know where it is, and I know how to get in. Might as well finish the quest. Questing, diddly-dee-dee-dee. Okay. Something up. Oh, it's just Copper Press is updated. Okay. That's fine. Oh, hey. There's spirits in the well. Or, well, fountain. Hey, buddy, can I have an item? A shard of joy? Why, thank you. I still don't know how or if I can get down there. I have Agnes Dockworker. That's the fisherman I would need to talk to. That one. Let's, Oh, I can't re-behold with a shard of joy. Yeah, I still don't know how I actually get over there. But I don't really need to ask him anymore. Alright. I really feel like this bag is meant to, not have that interact anymore. Alright. Box of ink cartridges. On the top of the box, you see the words Coleridge R Special Cartridge Quill Wells. Yes, this is the ink Matissa asked for. Open the box. Inside, you see a tightly stacked series of iron cartridges, each marked with a series of numbers. More importantly, there are 3 different colors of ink. Uh-oh. Red, yellow, and green quill well variants. If there was black, that would be the logical choice. However, since the shipment clearly does not contain any black ink, go with the green one. Makes the most logical sense being the Asgolist colors. Green. Go with green. Green. Grab one of the iron cartridges from the crate. They are heavy. The rigid metal feels cold to the touch. You hear something slashing around inside. Despite placing the cartridge in my pouch of holding, I don't quite feel like I've actually looted it. Ignore that! That's just some innate feeling that this quest item isn't that important. Right. I still don't have Mage Hand to get these bottles. There's still the tiny bicycles. I don't think I care about the tiny bicycles. The door down there leads to the warehouse. Only free striders and guild workers are allowed in. Right, okay, so that would be the locked door, I think. I actually have no idea. Can I see what this... Dock entrance to the AR trade company. Okay, so it's possible that I can get in through the free trade building. Which I have just not tried to go into as of yet. I'll check it out later. Or I'll try to check it out later. Alright. Hey, buddy. As you enter the sweaty apartment with the ink cartridge in hand, you encounter a rock and a hard place. The rock being the red-faced dwarf, and the hard place being the unyielding stubbornness of a teenage girl. You will ruin a decade's worth of goodwill. The dwarf slaps the newspaper. Oh, we about to have some communist infighting? Hell yeah. 1 second, I've got a notification. Let me make sure. Okay, cool. Not anything super important to me. You'll ruin a decade's worth of goodwill. The dwarf slaps the newspaper page against his massive forehead. For what? Forehead slapping is a dwarven national pastime. The girl snatches it from the dwarf's hand. Show me a single thing that's false. I dare you. It's not truth or falsehood that matters. It's the content, the message. It's va I helveten. The dwarf mutters to himself, noticing your approach. Mr. City Man. I got your special ink here. Great, thanks. She takes a step forward and quickly grabs the set of ink cartridges. Look, Alphaz, the city just allowed us to reach the cleric just allowed us to reach the entire city. She holds up the paper to his rocky face. They need to hear this. I got access to the warehouse. It was pretty hard. I had to. Do you know how much the palace would love to see an article like that? Do not put me in a position where I have to tell the foreman to denounce the chant. For folk. Bah! Maybe I should go. Fail to do so. I feel like I need to step in here. Do you now? The dwarf growls. He then takes a deep breath, rubbing his eyes. I apologize. We're having an issue. I'm just trying to, he mutters. Mr. Cityman, please enlighten us. What does the law say on criminal incitement, specifically in print media? Practically, it's always an it depends. Ah, yes, I've watched Legal Eagle. Everything is always it depends. Just thinking about it makes your head hurt. Give me a practical example. As in, what if someone printed a newspaper calling for a violent uprising? Generally, I don't think the city would be very happy about it. See? Look, Alphaz, look at where we are. I'm in a closet with this goddamn esoteric mess of a machine blowing hot air up my ass. The city already guts us at every turn. The protests at the towers, your PPG problem, that bullshit with the Silkers Guild. They will never work with us. Now's our only chance. We have the people's attention. It's time to drill it into their heads that they have the power here. You're missing the entire picture, girl. It's belittling to call her a girl like that. Bah. He crosses his arms. You're correct. The people have power here. And we will use that power responsibly by creating lasting, lawful change. If you keep writing about violent revolution, the average person will think you're crazy. And even worse, if you push for all this other socio-relation crap. Crap? What? Is feminism also just an ignorant reworking of Asgel's ideas? No, it's... The dwarf takes a deep breath. You know I am very much in favor of pressing down hierarchies. But to put such a threatening stance on the way people have lived for centuries, it is not wise. It's not wise to tell women and oppressed minorities that they should have rights. They have rights. We have universal suffrage. Norvik is the most egalitarian city on the coast. We've spent decades working for that. Well, 1 second. I need to, taking that deep breath as Alphaz made my ears pop. I'm trying to make them pop back, go back to normal. There we go. Universal suffrage, sure, but 9 out of 10 guild leaders and business owners are human men. She taps her fingers to list off her talking points. Women earn lower salaries across all work sectors. Citizenship is withheld from other folk types on the basis of so-called monstrous traits. Halflings are constantly extradited to the Horde, while every other major faction ignores their pleas. Mind control being used, somehow, as a legal tool of the state. And despite the outcalls, over and over again, none of the four folk haven't even begun to address any of our core demands. And don't even get me started on rights among MGIs, or the Fembeard debacle, or your refusal to stand by all our... She taps her index finger against his chest with every word. Cross-folk attraction. Couples. Stare at them both. We have toiled, Medusa, he mutters, his voice weak and dry. Decades of work, all to reach this point. You'll throw it all away if you try to play their game. You know the party is not behind even half of these ideas. The party doesn't have vision. That's why we're not winning. We have as many voters as the Free Striders, potential for more. You think the numbers matter, after all you've seen? They don't care. We will make them care. Bah! Dwarf takes a step back to catch his breath. All the other workers in the apartment just seem to go along per usual. This must be a common occurrence. All this every single article. Take a step away with Alphaz explain. Go to Medusa. Tell me what's going on. Wisdom check. Why won't Medusa tone it down? 33. Jesus Christ. She hates them. She hates how she's been pushed down by them all her life. She hates how powerless she feels all the time, every day. Every time she walks down the street and someone looks at her funny. Every time someone asks when she's going to grow up and start a family, instead of playing around in some Asgulist slarp outfit. You see it in her eyes. Hate and anger. Anger from endless systemic injustice. What are you looking at? She says with a scoff. It's your choice. You don't need this article, Medusa. The system's unfair, yes, but don't trust Alphas to change it. Change it yourself. Or you're on the right track. Keep it up. Give her a thumbs up. I want to encourage her. So this is very aptly... I'm going to go on a side tangent here for a second. Disco Elysium is very much about broad political ideas and the past and the future. But it's not very much about the present. And that does give Disco Elysium a kind of timelessness. But it doesn't really... As political as Disco Elysium is, at the end of your day, the politics are just a thing to be figuring out in Disco Elysium. Esoteric Ebb is about now. Esoteric Ebb is, there is an election coming. What do we do? Excuse me. Esoteric Ebb is about strength is literally, why are we slipping into fascism right now? It's the male loneliness crisis is a significant part of it. And what do we do in response to the male loneliness crisis? And right here, it's leftists and liberals not agreeing. Alphas is representing your light leftist or liberal Democrat who is like, you must vote for the lesser of two evils. You need to work within the system. You must play the game, a phrase that I absolutely despise. You must work within the system to change the system to become a better system. It's taking a rule book and issuing errata until it works the way you want it to. Whereas Medusa here is saying, no, the rulebook is fundamentally wrong. We can't use the rulebook anymore. We need a new rulebook, and that means that we have to get rid of the old rulebook. We can look to the old rulebook for inspiration and how to write something better, but we gotta keep going. We have to make dramatic changes. And that echoes back to what I said at the start of this stream. The the one side of our movement would say right now that the way to fix the Supreme Court would be to expand it. It's easier. It's in the system. It will, in its own way, balance things. If we expand the Supreme Court from 9 justices to 15, 18, 27, whatever number you want to pick, and then pack it because we're in control when we're expanding it, then yeah, it would start giving us the results we wanted, and it would slightly reduce the chance that any individual Supreme Court justice would be corrupt, because the more people are on any given board, the more varied your opinions and the more individual corruption is hard to achieve. However, it would still be very vulnerable to corruptions in major ways. It would still have the problems of people being able to be locked in for life with almost no oversight by political factions. It simply will continue to be the way it is. We'll have just slowed it down. We'll have just eroded the rule to be a little bit better. We need to make a massive and fundamental change, and that's harder because that means starting over from scratch, and that might mean doing something illegal. I don't think that the Supreme Court is going to be removed in an illegal way. That's too big of an issue for that, short of a revolution. But it would need to be purged, and that is still a massive and major change. So that is where the political left finds itself. Do we increment, or do we radically change? And as I'm sure is clear, I am for radical change. But as you might expect, the people with the least to lose are the ones who want the most radical change. Medusa is a young female dwarf who's being pressured into marriage. She's got nothing else going on in her life. Of course, she can throw herself fully behind the movement and fully behind making the radical changes that the system needs. Whereas Alphaz is a high-ranking person of some prestige. He, to some degree wants these changes. To some degree wants it to make him feel better about himself. But he can't handle what would happen if they lost. He can't handle losing money. It's the Democrats right now who would be like, well, yeah, we can't have trans people compete in sports. They're better than a trans woman is a man and therefore stronger than any woman. So we need to play ball. We'll put some restrictions in place, but we'll still let trans people do other things. Or, we don't want to upset those big donors. We'll put some regulations out there to make them behave a little bit better, but we're not going to do anything to scare them. We want that super PAC money. So yeah. You're on the right track. Keep it up. I know, but tell that to him. Maybe you shouldn't. Alphaz is a very scary man. Alphaz crosses his arms, looking to you both with intense stubbornness in his eyes. Medusa grunts something to herself and adjusts her uniform. Medusa is correct. You need to fight against oppression. If you side with Alphaz, he obviously has more power here, so that could help you in the future. The girl speaks of future strings. Yep, I agree with Medusa. You do? He does? Mm-hmm. Oh, don't blame you. Well then, Mr. City Man. Alphaz puffs up his chest and stares you up. Alphaz puffs up his chest and stares up at you. I thought it was going to stare. He stares you up and down. It appears I'll have to convince you as well of how much a mistake you're making. Got this, cleric? Snell whispers to you. Constitution, be more stubborn than the dwarf. Under the effects of enhanced ability, I'm exhausted. Snell will assist in spirit. You get Modisa. Let's do this. Whew, thanks God we didn't get that nat one. 29. He steps in front of you. His face rocky. Stone. You are rock hard. Thanks, Constitution. Please don't. Look down on him. He looks at you, and you look at him, and he looks at you, and you look at him, and he looks at you, and you look at him, and he says, sorry, what did you want again? I said ketchup, and he said, oh yeah, that's right. You make him know you are the king. Constitution, appreciate you. Not like that. Alphas, Mr. Cityman, you know you must let her do her thing. He's sweating. What are you two doing? He's grunting. The Asgal youth must be made free. He groans and kneels before you. Damn it. Modisa is looking at you both like you're alien aberrations. I know. It'll be a massive pain in my ass, but I know. He stands up and throws a stern gaze at Modisa. Print your article, girl. Speak from your heart and make the whole city hear you. She smiles. A union of thoughts. You held. Thank you, Alphas. Yeah, thanks. Alphas goes over to his comrades and begins the final process on the machine. She grunts out, You had the ink, right? Mr. Cleric? Hand her the ink. She quickly looks it over with a stern face. Green? Really? They didn't have any black. Well, shit. I'll mix it with what we still have. Should make it readable still. Green is at least thematically relevant. She shrugs. Then Modisa pours it into the machine. Egalitarian dreams. Complete copper press fever. Thanks for this. We'll actually be able to reach that last portion of voters before the election now. She sighs. And sorry for the mess. I shouldn't apologize really, but... Her voice trails off as she stares at the components of the printer. It's an ideological battlefield. Keep fighting. She keeps working at the machine. We did it! Alright. I think that's a good spot to take a little 3-minute break. Catch my breath. Use the bathroom. And I'll see you guys in a few minutes. BRB. And we're back. Thank you all for waiting through the ads. Hope you're doing okay and took a little break there. Kind of quiet in chat today, but I've been especially political, so it's all good. Alright. I need to clip my nails after stream. My thumbnail broke a little bit while I was up. And I need to paint my nails. I haven't painted my nails in a while. Alright, so now that we've done this, I have some questions about you. You hear her let out a deep sigh along with a dwarven word. Orca. Orca, a dwarven expression meaning something like, I do not have the energy to deal with this right now. I'll be quick. Right, get on with it. What made you join the Asgil Youth? Lots of things. I read Asgil for one. Some great works of political literature. I also saw the socio-economic imbalance in Norvikian society growing up and felt like I had to do something about it, you know? Oh, and I found a great mentor in Myron. Myron? Yeah, she was a founder of the Youth Asgils. She taught me a ton. I've heard about her. Real troublemaker. Trouble is another word for change. Suppose that's true? Myron. That was a long time ago. And where are you from? Grew up in in housing like everyone else, it seems. Though my parents fled Reeds before I was born. That so-called revolution was a hard time for them. She looks a bit sad and wanting to change the subject. What about you? The hills, then on North Wall. You're a farm boy. Guess I could see that, as long as you vote green. And how'd you get this massive printer? Hand me down? She gives you a grin. I'm telling you more than that, copper. Alright, that's fair. Just like Disco Elysium, it's hard to be a emissary of the state and also be progressive communist. Sure? She gives you a confounded and frankly disgusted look. Tell me about your relation with the tea shop. She might have some info. Love that place. Not because it was good, but because of the memories there. Spent a lot of time there? Oh yes, we had youth Asgil meetings there once a week. Really sad to see it gone. I don't know what kind of trouble he ended up in, but I've never expected Mr. Drummer to get into explosive trouble. She's not hiding anything from you, but she might be avoiding something. Something about this trouble. Interesting. I like that there's a 13 and a 17. Anything else? Not really. You just served tea and made that clacking sound. Alphas might know more. The dwarf glances over at you with a frown. Lean in and whisper, what about an elf? Her eyes go wide. We talked to her once or twice. Nice gal. She shuts her mouth and points to Alphaz. Talk to him. No, you tell me more, right now. Nuh-uh. Just nuh-uh, you. Holy shit. She points to Alphaz again. I'm not a snitch. He'll tell you what you're allowed to know. Good. Anything else? That's all for now. Alright. We have finished the Asgil Press. Take root. The heart pumps blood to all veins. A fully interconnected series of stops, each necessary for survival of the whole. All stops must accept that blood. They can never be cut or clogged, or the entire system collapses in an instant. This is the weakness of the egalitarian dream, as well as its strength. Unity in spirit, at both rise and fall. What a beautiful idea. Truly lovely. Asgilism was born under the condition of twos. The first, a literacy of the masses, created in various forms across different cultures during the Arcane Era. The second, a deep enough divide in wealth between the masses and their masters. Feudalism holds deep and fast due to the inability for its serfs to understand the functions of their system, to see their own shackles and how to break them. The more advanced governmental structures of both federated magedoms, parliamentary republics, and constitutional empires all grow partly due to their bourgeoisifying nature and modern city-state industrial developments. In this, some states hold out better than others. Some floating cities in Old Diminor, specifically that of the Shadow Lord, would grant access to magical food for all the lower classes. Others would offer free education for all children, no matter their birth, in order to find those gifted in the art of the esoteric. Actions like these, along with steadily rising quality of life, prolonged the spread of working-class resentment. However, Reichfall Empire had no such luck. The kingly line had sat on the forged throne for hundreds of years. Their monarchical, autocratic ways were roughly burrowed into every cavern and fungus farm, and their population. Roigfall, the legendary dwarven family who ruled before and after the AFF. Today their leader, Ketil Royfalson, holds the forged throne and has managed to somehow keep the Federated Union of Halls intact. Intact? Not intact? AFF, the Asgal Folkhelm Forge, the dwarves' old Asgal underground empire. Asgal Folkhelm Forge, the name of the official undercoast state ruled by Asgal Ashmask and his Ascalus until his untimely fading. Hey, Orion, welcome in. How are you? How have you been? I don't think any of my moderators are around right now, so I will give you a little shout out myself. Everyone go and check out Orion Starbeard. They're amazing. You can do it. Oh, thanks, Emmy. I already got it myself, but I appreciate you offering. But yeah, everyone go check out Orion. They're lovely. They put me in a color wheel a while ago. Has it been a year? I don't know. But lovely streamer. Definitely go and check them out. Pretty good. Working on some commissions. How are you? Oh, pretty deflated about political news today, and also I have a toothache that I can't get treated due to the closest dentist, or the only dentist in my range being completely stuffed full of appointments, and I just kind of have to wait it out until something comes around. But I'll be all right. We endure and we endure and we endure. You know how it is. Shucks, yeah, you're cool. You're awesome. And I want more people to check you out. Hope commission work is going well. Take it easy. Asgal Ashmask, a dwarf of low caste born deep in the Lekam tunnels. When he attained his divinity in 443 AE, he crushed the kingdoms and formed the Asgal Folkhelm Forge. On his death in 470 AE, a great civil war broke out, resulting in the exiling of all of his followers to the surface. But his influence was felt all around the Undercoast and above, and his exiled dwarves spread Asgalism to all corners of Jor. Politics is worse every day. Sorry about the toothache. I appreciate it. I'll get through it. Yeah. It's almost art fight. Yeah. My ex used to do art fight stuff a lot. I know a lot of people get excited for art fight. I wonder if the few artists I'm still in contact with are going to do it this year. I hope so. It's a fun thing. If you can find some time to stream it, you will? Hell yeah. Well, if you stream it and I get the chance, I'll definitely give you a raid. Through developments of the arcane era, trickling down through the cracks of the earth, the already massive dwarven populace exploded. Within a generation it doubled. Approximately 30 million dwarves lived in the Empire by 440 AE, the vast majority of them living in absolute poverty. Starvation was rampant in times of rot and conflict. Heavy taxation mixed with little to no protection from monsters or raids meant that life for the serfs was hard and rough. It was in these conditions a man was born and raised, his dreams filled with one thing: emancipation, the right of every dwarf to his own hammer. Yay, Chance Pride, yeah, Chance Pride, let's go. That man, Asgal Ashmask. So the dwarves had been pressure cooked in wealth inequality for too long while also having access to information about better systems. Birth of Asgalism was a story. This sounds like Asgalist propaganda. I like this one best. And it had been spoken of for decades. What Asgal did, was gain access to books by banned dwarvish scholars, gnomish thinkers, Anuran philosophers, all pointing him towards his own brand of radical, egalitarian ideology. Asgalism exploded with Asgal and his revolution, yes, but it was born as early as the Divine Era, for these dreams had lingered in the minds of all folk for as long as there had been shackles, and they have been documented about for as long as there has been paper to write on. Yet it took a walking god to push the oppressive machine regime back. Walking god, a term used to describe the divine avatars who rose and fell in and around the Divine Era. Most major religions on the coast today are built around these figures, and their influence can be felt everywhere. Earth was the last known walking god when he faded 27 years ago. Asgal wasn't a god, he was a man. Asgal was a man blessed by divine force. He was no god, yet it is true, despite what many say, that he used great esoteric power and strength to lead his revolution. A violent revolution. Understandable, the Empire probably had a ton of wizards and magical forces, just like the Arcanists did during the era. The Coast War was underway after all, and what happened then? I'm going to do this one. Esoteric reality begets esoteric means. Many dwarves died during the initial fighting. Many more died during the first years of the AFF. How many exactly? Millions. How many millions? The exact number is hard to tell. This is a point of contention for you and many others. Asgalism had a slow start. The dwarves quickly pulled out of the Coast War, leaving the VK behind. What with that, many dwarves were put back into the workforce and reunited with their families after decades of warfare. Economically, they were unable to manage such a sprawling set of states directly, but the fungus farms and vast cavern valleys were handed to the people who worked on those lands, instead of the greedy nobles who once lorded over them all. Asgal took steps in the right direction, even as all the forces in the world pushed against him. The monarchies were awful, but his system killed too many. He should have left the monarchies as they were. They would modernize in time anyhow, just like the rest of the surface, or it was worth it. It was worth it. If not for the AFF itself, but then for the dreams that sprung around the coast. Today, Asgalism in all its forms, along with the lessons of the Folkhem, show us a brave new path. That of a softer Asgalism. That of democratic socialism. Democratic socialism, the even softer form of socialism, with a state chosen by the people which controls, or at least regulates, the means of production for the needs of the people. Just as bad as pure Asgalism, but with the dangerous allure of normalcy. A good compromise, no bloody revolution, and boring. So what, no bloody revolution? We have had enough of those. The argument against social democracy in Asgal circles is simple, however. It does not do enough. The forces of capital easily consume and co-opt the socialist goals. They did just this in Savalny, before it was taken in by the Freestriders as a free city. Norvik itself is under the same threat. As such, it remains a debate. The dwarves who made a great cooperation with the humans of the city all have converted to this nicer form of slow incrementalism, a social democratic ideal. In this unity between humans and dwarves, you also see the grander vision of an egalitarian future, for there is no greater example of post-folk type exclusivism. But at the same time, the younger, more hot-headed Asgalists also have a dream of their own, one of truly owning the means of production post-haste like Asgal intended. So the question remains. You have dealt with it firsthand in the past. Should Norvik embrace radical Asgalism or continue down the path of social democracy? Alright. We need radical change or the Free Striders will win. We need incrementalism, else humans will reject Asgalism for good. We need to avoid Asgalism as much as possible, if nothing else, just to avoid reliving the starvations of the folk. We need someone to lead us forward, one supreme leader, someone like Asgal, but more magicratic. We need to all be farmers, every single one of us. Let the dirt flow through your veins. We need to argue among ourselves for another decade or so before we're able to do anything productive, I think. We need to be apolitical and just let the forces of the world live and let live. That'll work great. Yeah, okay. We need radical change and the Free Striders will win. Think what you will, say what you can, but the Asgalists have at the very least mastered the modern pathways of communication. You speak and the masses hear a leading Asgalist voice. The Copper Press. Those mad Asgalists are utilizing it just as they should to influence the minds of the populace. During better times, the Arcanists would do as such in much more direct ways, of course, but the irony of that is lost upon these poor fools. If anything, you can learn something from watching their mass media propaganda in motion. Sharing of ideas is very different from mind control. You would think. However, in statistical analysis, the difference is all the smaller than one would assume. The printing of ideas is the second step towards emancipation, the realization of a better world. They are enduring, cast out from below, exiled from their homeland, spread across the land, above and beneath. Like agrarians, they seed the earth, growing, a weed or a fertile wheat, you do not know. This is Asgalian endurance. A weed, surely. As such, the land requires a proper cleansing at some point. Not a weed, a fungus, feeding a family of 16 dwarflings all hungry from working the fields, and if they do not have enough to feed themselves, their neighbor will share what they have. That is the dream. That is the communal spirit of Asgalism. Tell me more about mass media propaganda. Change their minds. If you are not allowed to do it esoterically, then do it via the written word. Mass media propaganda alters ability score modifiers on texts. Positive modifiers get +1, and negative modifiers get -1. One sec, let me take a little drink. So we make more extreme any check that has to do with a book. Tell me more about human dwarf unity. Together, we are strong. A social, communal Asgalism utopia. It can be built. While you're at full health, whenever you would take damage, those dice are rolled at disadvantage. Ooh, that's not bad. And tell me about Asgalian endurance. Ideas are infectious. They live on. For every 3 hours spent exhausted, you lose 1 level of exhaustion. Ooh, we're taking that. I'm ready to settle this debate. There is no bad choice, but what you will. Asgalian endurance. As I was saying at the beginning of this stream, we endure. Now you too will live on, standing the test of time like an idea. Stop thinking about Asgalism for now. Alright, well, I would like my exhaustion stacks to start going away, please. So I need to get rid of something. I like having Lady Fair. What do I have equipped right now? I don't need the extra hit die from short rest, especially if I'm going to be taking short rests. I like having Snell get extra proficiency for initiative, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'm also through several fights at this point. So we're going to drop the tea shop that blew up and friendly company to pick up Asgalian endurance. And now I will steadily lose my exhaustion. Excellent. Alright. Can I have this? Built a dwarven kind. It is pickpocketing. Okay. I can't just have it. Mr. City Man. You see a throng of dwarves shuffling around inside the tiny apartment.
The smell of confined sweat reminds you of the summer you spent as a farmhand on the plantation. Terrible memories. Welcome to the Izagalian Sanctuary of Tolstad. For short, AST. An apartment full of nothing but dwarven willpower.
How can they even breathe in here? What a wonderful sanctuary you've built here.
It's central, and it's small.
He draws in air through his teeth and looks around.
But we use what we've got to full efficiency. But now the question is, what can you do for the Izagalian Workers' Party?
Do you have anything in particular? Yes, give me a quest right now. The dwarf sucks in a deep breath through his teeth, then glances to his men before nodding slowly. We don't really need anything right now. What? No! Despair. Nothing at all? Then good, I have some questions. Nothing at all?
I've got 5 men on the Waterlane docks. I'm preparing speeches and overseeing poster distribution, all in preparation for the Great March day before the election day.
Looks like he's thinking of several other things he needs to be doing right now. He's trying to make you think he's busy. He might also be busy, but still.
So, no real need for a spell-slinging cleric here, I'm afraid.
Fair enough.
It is what it is. Elections are won through organization and press, not magic. Those days are long gone. It ebbs, then flows.
If you wish to help them, do not offer in a cleric. Instead, offer assistance in their printing. Speak with Modisa. Well, I already did that. We found a dead elf in the tea shop. His face stiffens. He realizes something.
An elf, you say?
Dead one.
Huh.
He mouths in your direction while glancing around the room. He knows something. You can read him like an open. Stay silent until he breaks.
The elf. Was she
in the fire? Yeah.
But why didn't they?
They didn't look properly. You know how it is.
That's unfortunate.
Oh.
You see Modisa glance over to you, listening in on the conversation with a deep frown.
Pinja Athena was a friend of the movement. I suspected she would be involved in this somehow, but...
Dwarf closes his eyes.
Years of toil take a toll.
Elven connection updated.
I hoped she had simply left the city.
Who was she?
Elysium elf. Strange mix-up, I agree. She was kind.
He looks away as he says it. Who'd she work for?
Herself, from what I understood. Officially, she was connected with the Elysium embassy, or whatever they call it.
The outreach.
That's the one.
So what, she was secretly an Asgalis?
I wouldn't go so far, but she helped. Whatever she was, she shared information that was always helpful.
Information?
She would tell me things whenever I saw her. Intercepted messages sometimes. Leveraged to use in labor disputes. Business in the palace. Polling numbers before they were published. Opposition that had yet to strike. I'm sure we would have gotten ahead on the PPG issue if she had still been around.
His eyes grow dark.
Think about it. She helped immensely over these last few years. Countless times. So I don't care what she identified as. In my eyes, she was an Asgal, through and through.
Did she have any enemies?
Lots, I imagine. I warned her many times that granting us so much information could land her in danger. She didn't care.
So she sounds like she was just the best kind of person, huh?
She was alright.
He mutters as his expression falls. You know anything about a necklace of fireballs?
What?
Dwarf would not know much about this, you imagine?
You mean the magic item?
He knows something. That reaction is genuine. Yes, did Pinja ever mention it? He shakes his head slowly.
Don't think so. Those are dangerous, aren't they? It's the one that started the Ghost War.
He stares at you for a moment. Just give him a second.
Hold on. Did the tea shop blow up because of one of those damned things?
Possibly. I'm looking into it.
Will do. I don't want that kind of filth in Norvik. If there are any of these weapons lying around here, I want it taken care of. We don't want another coast war started over another damn evil fool with a bomb. What about the Ilium? What did she think about them? You know, I asked her once. Now, she didn't exactly give me a straight answer, but something in my gut told me she was trapped. That's what she looked like a trapped animal. I suppose that's why I hoped she just upped and left when we didn't hear from her. She deserved to be free. The gal, to be struck down at a damn tea shop. It's foul, really. So she was really... Oh, no, I'm not going to say she was a bad information broker. That's all I need to know. Fair enough, Mr. Sturdy Man. Fair enough. What game is this? This is Esoteric Ebb. It is so it is very similar to Disco Elysium, if you've heard of Disco Elysium. In fact, the creator of Disco Elysium, the one that Zaum ousted, said that among a bunch of games that have been inspired by Disco Elysium, this is one where he really felt like it was inspired rather than aping off of the popularity of Disco Elysium. We are a cleric who has been sent to investigate a tea shop that blew up. And as we do, there is also the city's first ever election coming in 5 days. And so there are high political tensions. There is a mystery to be solved. This goblin here is our friend Snell, who has been tasked with aiding us. And our 6 D&D style attributes are our voices in our head, each with their own political affiliations and motivations. So yeah, we got a nice little mystery game with some political energy that's doing it in its own unique way, different from Disco Elysium. So yeah, I've been very much enjoying it. Esoteric Ebb, again, just in case it got lost there. I saw my frames drop a few times. Whose apartment is this? Simmy was kind enough to lend us the use of his home until the election. We thank you, Simmy. You hear a voice from the back. No problem, Foreman. You know the tea shop that blew up? Tell me what you know. What I know damn well how happy I am that none of my boys were inside at the time. Especially happy that none of the youths were hurt either. They spent a lot of time in there from what I understand. Did you know the owner? The Birdman? No, I never much spoke with him. Something about him never struck quite right with me. And not because of the voice thing. It just seems like he was happy about hosting the youth meetings and letting us have our official drinking nights with local workers. But he seemed to be an opportunist, if anything. Very cool. Yeah, I highly recommend it. I think it's probably on sale right now for the Steam Summer Sale. So definitely worth picking up. Something about the way he acted. Not sure what. Just a gut feeling, you know? The dwarf knows, but not why. Man of intuition and little else. Alright, I don't think I need to ask that stuff. I don't want to say any of this stuff. I know what he's voting. The machine groans. Hey, Simmy. I don't really think I have anything to say to Simmy. The bathroom. It's surprisingly clean inside. Alright. Well, that's that quest resolved, and now I have access to the two of them if I ever have more questions for them. So, enough politics for now. We're back on the trail of the quest. Did something update? Oh, this updated. I should check on the corpse. Ooh. Did the corpse get removed? That might be worth going and checking now. Before we check the pillar here. There we go. Loaded in.
It's raining. I should have checked on this sooner, I think. Is the corpse still here? No, it's gone. Hey, Viscan? Yes, he says with a smile, putting away some documents before him. Where's the dead elf? Gone, I'm afraid. Well, good thing I spoke with dead. What? A door hug. Embarrassing, but unfortunately there's not much to be done. Someone wanted the corpse and they had the resources to acquire it. If they have access to 4th level spells, then it was this is no mere trifle. Shit. Door what? A door hug. It's a colloquial term. In short, the actor cast Dimension Door twice. Dimension Door, a 4th level conjuration spell. It allows the caster to teleport themselves and one willing target up to 500 feet in any direction. Immensely powerful. Like I said, embarrassing. I should have set up more defenses, but if they could employ an agent with Dimension Door, they could surely cause even more trouble. So perhaps this is for the best. Why did this happen? They wanted the corpse, clearly. He's repeating obvious information. Is he trying to be funny? They're removing evidence, clearly. This is bad. The Elysium's roots reach far, Cleric. You see an uncharacteristically wide smile spread across his pale face. Things are getting interesting. Elven connection completed. I've spoken with your helpers, Viscan. How interesting. What have you figured out, Cleric? You're clearly performing some kind of covert, subversive action here in Tolstad, and you need to stop. Whatever it is, I want in. I don't know, but I don't like it. You tell me. The pale man observes your words with the same coldness as always. Cleric. He puts down his pen. I believe it's time to have a chat. But not now. I am busy. Return here post-midnight. Alone. Alone? He turns to stare at Snow. Goblin companion shifts in his fancy jacket. The cleric and I need to have a private chat. I hope that is okay with you and your lady. Snow takes a step back and nods. Get him back in one piece and she won't complain. Good. He sounds ominous. Do not worry, things will be cleared by then. Could be a great opportunity. All will be revealed, I promise. Alright. I'm not going to bring up the gate, and I'm not going to tell him about my mimic. I am going to cast Thaumaturgy real quick. Is there anything of religious significance? Yes. The river calls to you. Revitalized. Got rid of 2 levels of exhaustion. Hell yeah. I am healed. Take root. Damn! They took her. Just like that. The tendril of the Mender's cult reaches far. You can learn something from this. You sure can. Did you see the shit-eating confidence on that elf's luscious lips? That was the face of order. A foreign order, fully in control. It was breathtaking. I didn't believe a word he was saying. And yet he said them to your face with complete conviction. But why else would an Elysium warden, fancy word for ambassador, stand there in the middle of the night speaking gibberish with some inane cleric? He had a damn good reason to show up. And considering they took the corpse right afterwards, they know exactly what you're doing. It was a highly calculated move to tell you those things. To blame the dead elf, to clear themselves from any wrongdoing, to sneak away in the night with the biggest piece of evidence, before anyone with real authority could get their claws on it, and most importantly, before the press could get in on the snoop. You need to learn something from this. Get yourself closer to that Twinkie elf's level. Why? Because the ladies will like it. Ladies love a twink. Well, sign me up.
Illusions of grandeur can take a man far. People tend to get swept up alongside it, like little winds trailing in the wake of a greater tempest. Alas, words are wind. They too fade as the storm turns to gale. Do not build your empire on words alone. Elysium did not. You remember the tale of the mender? It was told to every child. There have also been 3 adaptations running on Stage Street over the years. It's one of the classics. Stage Street, one of the main rows of housing, full of theaters, with shows playing almost every evening of the week. There's some historical preamble. You've more or less memorized it. Go ahead, recall the history of Elysium. Just tell me the tale, skip to the good parts. I don't care about children's tales, especially those including elves. Don't listen to the tale. We can do the full version. The Elysium Empire has always been an ominous presence in Ascani. She was one of the early walking gods, born as an early tidings of the divine era. She reigned in isolation for a very long time. During the arcane era, she used her realm as a wall, one of the few powers which resisted and repelled any Dimenorian influence. Ascani remained wild for many reasons. One of them was the ever-present and self-sustaining Elven Empire in their living forest. Their stasis changed during the Cold War, first by growing tensions on the borders. They ended up so occupied defending their lands in the east, they did not even intervene when a band of human refugees settled in the troll-infested ruins on the coast. Yeah, they usually have a player chanting those details out before the show starts. Now this is where the real tale begins. Listen to the tale of Elysium. Recallest thou the tale of Elysium the Mender? A great shaman of the wilds who in divine ascension did bind Ascani's elven kind. To Norvik she came, emerged upon its streets, scarce years past the conquest's end. In shadow wrought, she spells upon each warrior of the palace, drawing them to earth in ranks of iron. Their eyes, bewitched and bright with zeal, beheld her form, a twisting mass of bark and gnarled root. There earth did meet her on the steps. A primal force pressed against the bulwark. Seconds for war, minutes from passion. Words they shared, looks exchanged. The elf god asked but one question as she broke her spell upon the great soldiers of the city. Is anything permitted in a good man's quest? Thus ends the tale of Elysium the Mender. For earth did stay her wrath for mortal men. In years since past that elven god hath faded, yet her question lingers still within the palace air, the streets, the coast. If thou know the answer, hold thy tongue and speak it not. For that beguiling nymph may yet keep watch, her roots still linger. Beguiling nymph? It was a different time. But yeah, this is only the abridged kids version of the course. It's the one that stuck with you. Now think about it. The dead elf, this Pinja, she played them all. Then this not dead elf, the warden, he's clearly a professional bullshitter. They're both master manipulators in their own right. Just excellent, excellent work. Learn from it. Build up a beautiful lie on that probably pretty face of yours. Then you can take over the remember where they came from. A long line of empire, an imperial dream. Learn from their mistakes, build upon their methods, then you may... You do realize they're immortal, right? Or they are supposed to be. That's what sets them apart. Keep that in mind. These bastards are way too slow to adapt to anything. Whether it's a millennial sphinx or an Anticipolian celestial or just an elf, they've all got that weakness. A fragile immortality. If you die, you lose, what, a couple decades at worst? They lose infinity. Oh, dexterity, I think this is the first time you're speaking my language. Tell me more about fragile immortality. An aversion to risk. That's what they've got, times infinity. That's a massive weakness. So that's what you should learn from them. Think about that weakness. Use it to your advantage. Keep building that advantage over and over again. Keep rolling that die. Fragile immortality. Removes death savings throws. Whenever you are above 1 HP and take damage that would take you to 0, you go to 1. If you take any damage at 1, you die. Well, that's fun.
I'm not taking that. I might take that feat as the one I'm choosing to answer, but I'm not going to equip it. Tell me about the Imperial Dream. Domination begins in the mind. You are above them all. When speaking with someone with less intelligence than you, gain extra proficiency on your d20 rolls. Ooh. Tell me more about the beautiful lie. Look fresh, smile wide. They'll love you until the day you die. When you are at full health and 0 exhaustion, gain advantage on all d20 rolls. That's fun. Ready to make a decision, which is fragile immortality. Now you're talking. You might even end up actually immortal if you can keep this up. Stop thinking about elves. Alright. So, I need to find this hag. We need to go through the gates of Jor. I need to find Nearly. I should look around town before it becomes 6 p.m. See if I can find her. I need to talk with the angel more. I still haven't found Cividix's Book of the Mind. I don't have an answer to the riddle yet. I wish it was written here. I have a talk tonight. It may end up rough, so be sure to prepare. Whoopsie. Meant to look at that more. Get a date with a woman. Find the missing paladin. I should go and, I guess, talk to Darrow about this. I don't care about the milk. I have 4 pings left over here, 2 pings left over here, and 3 pings left up here. We are on day 3 of 5. I don't know if the game ends with the election, though. Alright. So, with that in mind, what do we do next? We go through the trash for more food. Ooh, a dream patch. Very nice. I am loaded up on consumables. I wish I could prepare another 3rd rank spell. Nearly's not up here, is she? Let's go into the Sphinx and see if she's hanging around. A man drenched to the bone. A woman sounding slightly annoyed. Interesting. Hello? I told you they don't open till dark. You didn't even bring a robe. He's acting born. These barrels are blocking the way to the stage. The Sphinx is still here. Interesting that the tables are put up. Stare at the barrels. Yeah, those sure are barrels. Hey, Olizis, can you move these? I want to get up on stage. No. Why not? You see the guy in the Sphinx point to Snell. Him. Me? Snell? She sighs. I'm sorry, Goblin, but you're not allowed up here. Only the cleric is. Sure, I have no problem with that. But mind if I ask why? She smirks. I do mind. I will not answer that. Oh, interesting. Clearly, this is a hint to solve the riddle. You must perform some kind of act on stage in order to fulfill the requirements. The goblin shrugs. Well, if you're going to do some Sphinx riddle solving, then I guess I'll leave you to it. Yeah, you can come back later. I'll be in the garden. Glances at the smiling guy in the Sphinx. Don't rough him up too bad, you hear? Oh, I would never. The goblin shakes his head and leaves the chamber. Well then, get up here, cleric. Can you move these now? Yes. Yes. Welcome up. Don't touch my feathers. Neat. Interesting. Again, I don't want to save scum too much, but I am going to save here. Just in case. Definitely not going to trifle with her. The Sphinx takes a sip from her barrel of wine. Little one, she says, and looks right through you.
Into your soul.
Can you tell me the riddle again? She chuckles. As many times as you want, cleric. Found within the arcane flare. My Sphinx, we woo her today. Hi, Sammy. You been chillin'? Yeah, we'll try wooing the Sphinx here in a second. Found within the arcane flare, twin tongues of flame that scorch the air. Burrowed deep within the earth, a primal string to show your worth. Folk and gods and thronging herds, a man divine alone howls his words. So I could cast Dancing Lights, then Thaumaturgy, or then Druidcraft, then Thaumaturgy. Might work. Isn't it lonely to hang around here for millennia? She takes a deep breath. I must remember my perspective on time is different from mortals. When one views events on a scale measured in eras, a chat like this is but a fleeting blink among a heaven of stars. Stars, the occurrence of distant celestial bodies appearing upon the sky. If Anticypalian witnesses are to be believed, many old worlds had skies filled with thousands of these gleaming lights.
She speaks from a pool of knowledge deeper than your entire potential existence.
So there's no dude Sphinx in your life then? Mortality makes life beautiful. I've heard that countless times. It always comes from those trapped in its clutches. I suppose perspective is everything. So everything's going really fast for you? The Sphinx takes a moment. When a child grows, a house once thought massive will soon start to feel cramped. As time grinds on, the ideas of today is no longer a canyon of possibilities. For me, that house is minuscule. What about this then? Try jumping to your side really quick. Nah, that's fascinating. Thank you for sharing your perspective. You're welcome, little one. You can't hear me, you're at a friend's house? Oh, I see. I will post a little heart in chat for you then. Hanging around in the tavern can't be too lonely then, right? Times have indeed changed. During what you call the Arcane Era, I had few visitors. These days, I'm inclined to enjoy the life surrounding me, even with occasional annoyances. While the average quality of my conversations might have declined, there is value in communicating with all manner of creatures. Knowledge comes in all shapes. If the world is full of imbeciles, then knowing imbeciles will let you know the world. And if that is the case, how many of those people can truly be called stupid? It's good to have friends. No one should have to be all alone. Thank you for that is a very human perspective, but thank you. So no dude Sphinx in your life then? Her expression changes subtly. You touch on a sensitive subject. I have found that when this question is put to me, despite my vast age, despite my demeanor, despite everything, the inquirer is not referring to companionship. She taps a claw. You wish to speak of reproduction, little one? Yes, I would like to hear about Sphinx reproduction. Are you uncomfortable talking about it? Not at all. I can rant about it all day. Then yes, I would like to hear about Sphinx reproduction. Her intense glare grows more esoteric. It's time. Oh, she's into it. There are many lower races of Sphinx, some more bestial than others. Apart from often serving lesser purposes, they also share a common characteristic. She frowns. They are all male. How dreadful. Indeed. Each of these degenerate Sphinxi then naturally crave the companionship of my kind. For a Gynosphinx to lower herself to their level is simply unthinkable. Then how? Any man would desire such beauty in his life. Agreed. Men are, after all, shallow idiots. Harsh, love it. The degenerate races of Sphinx were born wicked and craven. These creatures are no more similar to I than a horse to a donkey. No, not even this, as it implies some level of closeness. A horse god to a painting of a donkey. Heh. Nice. This misconception of our similarity will plague me for eternity. But considering them a legitimate partner, creating more, the Sphinx shakes her head. A true man is his mind. He is not violent by nature, nor is he afraid of action. He is decisive yet tolerant. He is wise yet ready to learn. A true man is a riddle. Good on you for stopping them from reproducing, making the world better one sexless day at a time. They cannot be redeemed, not as long as they live. However, there is a more civilized Sphinx, apart from my own kind, of course. The glow in her eyes intensifies. She enjoys thinking of this manly creature, the Andro-Sphinx, a beautiful, powerful servant of the gods. Few inhabit this coast of ours, yet those who do, her voice trails off. A bitter taste spreads. There is more than history here. There are lifetimes. Our assholes, our idiots, are indescribably what? Hot or what? She snaps her gaze back to you. They are, like all men, insufferably prideful. No, we're not. I'm sensing a story here. There's always a story. Every bias is brought from perspectives, after all. She takes a sip from her barrel and leans her head on a paw. Hear my tale. During the early days when the gates stood open, one winter long ago, I was tasked to guard a passage on the border of an empire you will never know. That empire's goddess sent an Andro-Sphinx to guard the very same passage. His name was Tremblium. Our meeting was chance and fate. You were both sent to guard the same gate. Not the point right now. She doesn't. She wants you to listen, nod your head, yada yada yada. We had the same mission, sent by different powers. A simple mishap. Trem was a gallant specimen. He spoke with an air of grandeur and purpose. Enhance ability expires. I'll pop that back on if I feel like I need it. It was easy to spend hours in his company, days, then months. Though we became increasingly physical in our relations, our conversations steadily became more stale. And after years of sharing a lair, I sensed a bitter tone gnawing its way into every interaction between us. He would berate my every action. He would go on month-long hunting trips and come back empty-handed. He would end every philosophical discussion or debate, even those we had with visitors, with snarky comments. Tell me, with whom do you believe this venom originated? Which one of us would be at fault to say? Considering your stance on masculinity, I'd say you. Considering the general theme of this conversation, I'd say him. Maybe you two just weren't compatible. Is the Sphinx romanceable? Maybe. I don't know yet. There is a option to flirt with the Sphinx. It is a charisma DC like 30. So we're gonna try. Considering the general theme of the conversation, I'd say him. My easiest riddle yet, little one. I pushed for him to tell me where this irritable act of his came from. After many long arguments, he relented. Guess what Trem confessed to be the cause of his toxic behavior. A thorn stuck in his paw. He was bored of the relationship. It's not a sex thing, is it? I don't know, shrug. It's not a sex thing, is it? She smirks. That was never an issue. Don't picture it. She takes a big gulp from her wine barrel. He said I was arrogant, that I could never be wrong, that I was stubborn. Well, don't say that out loud. Those words are tinged with bitterness and contempt. The Andro-Sphinx had a deeper, more venomous meaning behind his statement. There's a hidden meaning behind his words? She raises an eyebrow. You surprise me, little one. It took time for me to truly understand why he would say such things. Eventually I figured it out. Trem was intimidated by me.
For the half-century we spent together, he never once could keep up in our debates. He never could solve my best riddles, nor even understand many of the most basic of philosophical topics I brought up. I never had a problem with this at all. It was endearing to watch him struggle. I never would have assumed such a magnificent man would succumb to the lowest of sins, pride. Trem could not stand to be outmatched, at least not in the long run. So we parted ways as amicably as could be given the circumstances. That was my first mission here, on this Jor's realm. This Gynosphinx has struggled with her hatred for longer than you will ever live. Yet despite the difference in your natures, what she seeks here from you is simply validation. Separation was wise. Inevitable, even. The Sphinx gives you a faint smile. One thing I truly desire is for my mind to delve inwards. That can be done via intellectual excursion of many kinds. Dialogue, debates, sharing experiences. Let me snooze that ad break so that we can keep talking with our beloved Sphinx. Thank you for listening to my tale, little one. Less of a dialogue, more of a monologue, or an appeasement, a hey, whatever floats her boat. She seeks understanding through sharing. By listening, you give her something tiny and fleeting. Your bias is not wrong, but remember, all folk, man and woman alike, Sphinx or human, are both pitiful, spiteful, and wonderful in their own unique way. Your story is interesting. I will think about it. What you have told me today. Did I win? Did I say the right thing? Understanding through sharing. By listening, you give her something tiny and fleeting. Yeah. I mean, she was talking about bias at the beginning, so your bias is not wrong. But remember, all folk, man and woman alike, Sphinx or human, are both pitiful, spiteful, and wonderful in their own unique ways. You can't say both and then say three things. Well said. It's not often I am given the chance to be truly surprised by a mortal, and a man nonetheless. Thank you, Guardian of the Vault. Here, little one. This might help you on your quest. Here. Well, that's fine. I was close enough to write. She gave me some incense. Now, any other questions for me? Alright. You guys asked for it. You are a very impressive creature, you know that. She taps her claws. Where are you going with this, little one? Yeah, this might be a bad idea. Woo the beast. You listened well about men. You solved her first riddle. DC 25. Let's go ahead and cast Enhance Ability. I don't think it matters there. I think I need a nat 20. Oh, Lady Fair helped, but we are still too short. Well, this isn't really surprising, but you have no idea where to take this next. The Gynosphinx sips her wine and gives you a side-eye. Well? Nope, I've got nothing. She laughs. Not surprising. Do you really even want to woo her? How would that even work logistically? Alright, yeah, I've read this before. I need help entering the Pillar of Jor. Now, that was not a request I expected today. Might I ask why? It's got to do with the tea shop. I see. How mysterious. Sphinx ponders your request while sipping her wine. This is no small request, cleric. Tell you what, complete the riddle first, the difficult one, and perhaps I will consider it. Life finds a way. Sure does. Can you give me a hint about that riddle? A hint? You dare stand before a Sphinx and ask for a hint? What, is that some kind of social taboo? She puts down her barrel and wine, leans in. You can ask questions, but no, you do not get a hint. Wow, what a cool distinction, Olzis. Those really are really different things. Alright, so I'm supposed to do something, not just answer with regular old word, right? Correct. Where am I supposed to do the actions have to do anything to do with? Has anyone else solved the riddle? I'll have to do something with you to solve the riddle, right? Alright, I'll have to do something with you to solve the riddle, right? No. She winces. Damn it, that was a hint. New rule, you get one hint. She can make new rules. Man, she's drunk. That was your one hint. It's not something to do directly with me. So not like in a dialogue with you or whatever. Got it. Something like that. She sips on her wine looking regretful. She says she's not drunk, but... the actions I'm supposed to do have anything to do with? That would be a hint. No such questions, please. Alright. Guess I'll try some stuff. Trial and error. Not the most silly tactic I've heard over the years. She shrugs, her cat shoulders sliding smoothly up and down, which looks surprisingly funny with her whole feline body thing going on. She's attempting to appear mysterious. I wonder if that affected the DC. No. Okay. Alright, so we get up on stage, and my guess is... Dancing Light, then Druidcraft, then Thaumaturgy. Hey, we did it. A grand entrance, or exit. And we get a nice big heal, touched by divinity. Completing the riddle will lower this DC, probably. That would be my guess. Alright, well, we did it. Alright, this time, I am going to allow the ad break to run. Because we aren't currently in dialogue. I'm going to assume... Yeah, I can't enter yet. And I don't think I would want to. Alright, we're going to take ourselves a nice little 3-minute ad break. I'll see you when I get back, and maybe we'll be able to romance the Sphinx.
And we're back. Thank you all for waiting through the ad break. Alright. Hey, Sphinx. My. No one's ever thought to cast 3 cantrips before. Although I guess most people can't. This seems like a magic light world, but also I did cast an arcane, a divine, and a primal cantrip. No occultism in this world, though. We ain't quite Pathfinder. Do go on in, then, if you dare. Let's see that one more time, little one. You got it. Oh, it's just darkness imprisoning me. All that I see. Absolute. Oh, boy. Well, there's a treasure chest. The deck of many things. A deck. You're holding a deck. A deck of cards? Yes. A deck of cards. Feels heavy in your hands. They say there is death in this deck. You sense an overwhelming power looking at you. A voice in the beyond telling you, commanding you, to close your eyes. Why should I close my eyes? The darkness wins, you do as it asks. Or perhaps the darkness simply accepted you as its own, as it envelops the rest of you. What? The deck of cards is still with you. Should I draw from it? You could do that. But it would be wise not to. Am I dead? No, not this time. But you have been moved. Oh. Open your eyes. As you do, you find yourself on the floor of the tavern. The Anticipolian vault, complete the Sphinx's riddle. The Gynosphinx sips on her wine barrel and laughs at you. You found them, then. How interesting. In front of you, on the ground, you see the fancy zinc container. The deck of many things is yours. Do with it as you please. Deck of many things, a legendary magic item. Many have been documented in various history books since the Gate War, but they are seldom spotted in the wild these days. Pick it up. Alright, let's look at it. The deck of many things. You've heard tale about this legendary magic item. The cards are enclosed within a fine zinc container. Holding it gives you an overwhelming sense of dread. -4 wisdom. You take out the deck of many things. It is heavy in your hands. One card juts out invitingly as you can hold it up. Fate is sealed. The cards are placed. Only the wild dwarf can ever change this order. Wild dwarf. Let's do it. Let's draw cards. Is it dangerous to draw a card? I should leave this alone for now. Is it dangerous to draw a card? Yes! Each card can break you or bring you fortune. I should leave this alone. I am very curious, but I also definitely don't want to blind draw from the deck. It is such a gamble. I'm very curious, though. Alright. Darkness. You didn't quite reach the edge there. A great esoteric mystery. A conundrum. The Millennium Vault. Wasn't that hard to get open? Of course, because you're a genius. The secrets within are hidden in the darkness, but you saw the light ahead. That was a pillar. Of Jor? Think about the big light you saw in the darkness of the vault. Yes, what other pillars are there? Sure, there's many, but it was a pillar, one of the 4, reaching through the earth, through the coast. It is made entirely out of light. That is its true form. It is not material in nature, it goes beyond. Remember what the gods did, the true gods did, when they arrived in this realm. They attempted to destroy Jor, for selfish or selfless reasons. No matter which, that is what they did. But if Jor controls his gates, it only makes sense from the purely strategic standpoint that those gods would be desperate to manufacture their own pathways, their own gates. The vault is a gate to the beyond? Exactly. If these gods had their own gates, then why are they shut? Why place a Sphinx to guard one? Why place a, relatively speaking, simple magic item inside as some type of reward? Does not appear reasonable.
Could I have gone deeper? Could the vault be an actual gate to worlds beyond? No. The boundaries of that place were tightly knit. The strings were all around you, holding you in place. The vault is a piece of the beyond. For whatever reason, you were not allowed to use it as anything but. I won't get real answers, will I? Move on. You will not. However, if you keep thinking about it, you will eventually come to a conclusion. You are a genius, after all. Simply keep scribbling in the margins, keep working on your esoteric knowledge, and the truth will be revealed. Honestly, this whole thing just makes it obvious. This is all about magic items. The deck of many things, sure, but also all the other shit you collect. You've got one hell of a connection with strings, right? Well, maybe that visit in the vault gave you exactly what you needed to connect even more. Like a ley line hook. Millennia Guardian, Sphinx holding the beyond. Your body is deeply entwined, pierced, coupled. Enhance your body further. Drink more potions. You can also follow the tingle, the positive tingle. As your body collapses, your breath is lost, and your feet fall into the earth. Your healing will always be there to bring you back. Your magic hands, your empathetic magical hands. Creepy. Idiotic. Focus on research, power through knowledge, not by filling yourself with hag liquids or giving your soul to only positive forces. Understand it, wield it, master it. Am I winning, daughter? I am winning. I've opened the Sphinx's puzzle door and got the deck of many things, and now I'm going to ask if she wants to be my girlfriend, because I'm so smart. That is the path to learning the truth. Alright, ley line hook. Wear more magical shit and get even more in tune with the esoteric. Also, hi Blood, how are you doing today? It's not that complicated. Alters ability score modifiers on trinkets. Positive modifiers go up and negative modifiers go down. Millennia Guardian. Your body is a temple. Fill it with esoteric flow. The effects from potions are doubled. For ability score increases, this only affects the first potion of a kind you've ingested. Tell me about the positive tingle. Heal everyone. Let that become your mastery. Healing spells are rolled with twice the normal amount of dice. Scribble in the margins. Never stop working. Always focus on learning more. Your cleric level is doubled when calculating the amount of spells you can prepare. Well, I don't feel like I need that many spells. So, mechanically, especially since I've already drank a potion, I feel like I should do ley line hook. Positive tingle is the most, like, narratively fulfilling, though. I think I'll take the ley line hook. Yeah. Ley line hook. There we go. You're going to look so damn fancy with all those stringular magic items on you. Finish thinking about this esoteric event. Today was a very off day. Yeah, it's been rough. I hope that you're doing alright. I don't know if anything additional has happened to you beyond the bad political news. I hope you're okay. Alright, well, let's talk to her now. Sphinx takes a sip from her barrel of wine. Little one. The deck of many things. That is your reward, yes. But firstly, I must congratulate you. Very well done, cleric, for solving my riddle. It was a fun riddle. Fun? She sighs. Sure, I'll take it. She would have preferred something like, what a difficult and illustrious riddle you crafted, O great Sphinx Ulysses. Alas. She sips on her wine. The esoteric challenge of it is the biggest hurdle, of course. And while I want to avoid inflating that ego of yours, little one, you do have quite the mastery over strings. Or at the very least, some type of natural inclination. Towers taught me a lot. It's very humble of you. She purrs out her next sentence as she leans in. Now, as for the deck... Yeah? Yes. I'm destined to warn you, cleric. There are few who have drawn those cards. Doing much better? Glad. Some will spell fortune, some death. It's the biggest gamble of your life, and you will never know the true odds. If you're willing to throw everything away to grasp for that small sliver of potential, then draw. Otherwise, I suggest leaving it be. Not at work after all day, that helps. Once you do draw, or rather once you stop drawing, it will return to the confines of the vault. How many cards can I draw? As many as you wish, but remember, several of them will either kill you or completely destroy your life. So I suppose it's more like until you draw one of those. Do you know what all the cards do? Some of them. I've been around for quite a while after all. What happens if someone else solves the riddle while I have the deck? You get the second prize, of course. A dumb Sphinx joke incoming. What's that? A date with me. Really? Stare. No, I'm joking. She lets out a quick chortle. If anyone were to solve it before you've used it up, the deck would simply be teleported back, leaving your draws forfeit. Ah, so there's a time limit. Not in stone, but yes. I always imagined that was to keep anyone from just placing it in their own vault, you know? But it's not like people are solving my riddles every day. You have time. Don't worry. Thank you for the info. I will consider it. The Sphinx nods. Alright. Can I ask her on a date now? The DC's dropped to 15! And I have advantage. We can do this. We can do a DC 15. Yeah! We did it. We got a 27, baby. There you go. You've got an opening. Time to swoop in with a smooth line. Clear your throat. The Sphinx, patient as ever, stares at you. Oh, boy. Now I have to pick the right line. I've never seen a Sphinx so wonderfully pretty. Oh, guardian of the vault, you have enraptured me via my senses. I cannot see a future without your presence in my life. Or, your skill with words puts mine to shame, clearly. I can attempt to communicate to you how strongly I feel for you, but you must instead settle for knowing the depth of my feeling. I find you to be a very beautiful Sphinx, and I would be honored to have you in my life. Or, whoo boy, this here Sphinx, I do love me a Sphinx. I do want to give my life in service to a Sphinx. That'd be a real neato. Do a little jig. I mean, that's how I got Emmy to start dating me. That's exactly what I said and what I did. No, it isn't. Shh, don't tell them that to Emmy. The last one. I refuse to let them think that would work on you. You're so right. I said puppy instead of Sphinx. I think the second one... I'm going to do the second one. That's appealing to what she cares about in a person. But man, is that tempting. Oh, man, the bit is so strong. Alright, here we go. After listening to your speech, the Sphinx looks at you bug-eyed. Sphinxes do not often become bug-eyed. As does Meek. No one formulates lines better than you. No one. No one. Nope, no one. Why does she look so shocked? Who knows, and who cares? They may act like they're embarrassed, but they envy you in this moment. They don't have the confidence. Little one. Finally, the Sphinx speaks, her tone calm yet shaky. That was a wonderful speech. I appreciate you as well. However, as I'm sure you're aware, I cannot leave this chamber, so I would not be able to stay in your life forever. She looks like a woman who would appreciate a courtship jig. So unfortunately, I'll have to pass on your proclamation. Ah, okay. I hope that's alright. Oh, there goes that dream. It can't be! Just start bawling in front of her. Sorry, little one. No, that's okay, I'm fine. Okay, I've held it together this far. Fall to your knees. Damn the gods! Damn it all to hells! You'll find someone else. She leans in and brings her massive paw over your head. Then she pats the top of your helm carefully. There. No crying. Thank you. You're welcome. Well, she says and starts sipping her barrel again. You look like you need a drink. I was saving it for later, but I think you'll be in more need of this pick-me-up. Anything else you wanted?
Oh, can you help me enter the Pillar of Joy?
Now that was might I ask why? It's got to do with the tea shop. I see. How mysterious. The Sphinx ponders your request while sipping on her wine. This is no small request, cleric. But since you've proven yourself worthy, perhaps a gate shall be braved by this mortal, despite the error. She smiles. Thank you. It is appreciated. Don't get ahead of yourself. She puts down the wine barrel. Each gate has an attunement, a fine attunement, a very specific series of strings. One way to sneak in through the cracks is to carry a key, one attuned to those strings. Bring me a gemstone, cleric, an emerald to be precise. I shall attune it to the pillar gate, allowing you to pass through. An emerald? Yes, a green gemstone. I'm sure you know where to find it. That stone in particular holds a special connection with this pillar, for reasons I am not aware of, but I can use it well. Where can I find one of those? A good question. They are quite expensive after all. But unless you've got the funds, I suppose I would suggest looking in the, what you people call the city below. There are many treasures there. I'll go find one of the gemstones. I wish you luck then, cleric. You saw one down in the crypt in Bondival's Dune. Did I? Considering the madness, Demi-Lich will either fight you for it or simply hand it over. Alright. So I can get a emerald from Bondival. I was really hoping that Nearly would be here so that I could tell her I've got her rent paid off. The Mind Expansion, a common potion known to allow knowledge to stick more easily, often by students, gives a minor intelligence increase for a week. Bonk. Hey, we'll take that. Questing tree. Alright. I am sure there are other ways into the pillar depending on who I ally with. But I'll take this. Let's go get Snell. He said he was being the garden. I also should talk to Darrow at some point. Maybe I can get the thing back. Oh. He must mean like the actual garden. Oh. The dwarf and earthfolk together. Pick me up. Regained a D4 hit point. Okay. I think I will always get a hit point increase of some sort. So I'm going to turn Thaumaturgy off. Why am I not allowed to just live with her? Well, she lives in a bar, Blood. Hey, Snell. Good afternoon, cleric. Ready to head out? A bit later than I usually get started, but yeah, I'm ready. Okay. Cleric. Do I have anything more that I want to say to her? I'm going to report some things. Focus Drummer. He was hiding in a warehouse on Waterlane View. I had a chat with a very mysterious elf. And you're never going to guess who Frank said a Frank turned out to be. I can tell her these things. I had a chat with a very mysterious elf. She lifts her head and glares at you. The Warden. Yeah, that's the one. How did you know? I've already heard from Viskin that they took the corpse. I did not expect them to move so quickly. He told me that Pinja, the dead elf, was trying to do something horrible. What exactly? That she was planning an esoteric attack on Election Day to blow up the Temple of Earth. Yeah, and? I'm sorry, Blood. You'll have to settle for finding a different video game girlfriend. No sexy sphinx for you. She laughs, flinging her head back. Do not trust a word that bastard is spewing. He's either trying to save himself or protect someone else, putting her in as some kind of scapegoat. The Elysium are dangerous. While I do not know the exact involvement with the incident, they are all dirty. I swear, if Warden Culervo pulls up to personally explain his innocent, then he's got his filthy hands all over this. Fair assessment. There's no doubt in my mind. Find out who Culervo was working with. Considering the Elysium, they were probably trying to interfere with the election themselves. Now, who would work with the elves? A good question. Look into it. Yes, Lady Sage, leave we will. Sad about it, too? You still like her nose?
spoke with Drummer. He was hiding in a warehouse on Waterlane View. Did you now? She leans in, saying, what did the bird say? She glances to Snell. We discovered an illegal smuggling operation, my lady. A what? The bird couldn't have run it himself, could he? There was an undisclosed hidden safe space connected with the tea shop. Drummer used it as storage space for the freestriders. I took his paper. Drummer cannot leave the city, at least not in any official capacity. Good. He might still slip on through, but this way he'll at least be easier to catch. She leans back in her throne. We will make sure to attempt to catch him, Snell. Word's already sent. We'll do our best. Of course we will. At the very least, the bird was found, and that adds to the full picture. Gods, do I hate the freestriders. Ah, excellent. That will be an election point, because her people listen to her. Who doesn't hate the freestriders? A fair statement. Now what else? You're never going to guess who Frank Son of Frank turned out to be. She raises an eyebrow. Speak. He was Meriadoc Moonwatch. Snell shakes his head. Out of all people. Ha! What a bastard. To be a key witness and then just leave. Typical silver spoon freestrider. Did he have anything good to say? Yes, he saw a smoking invisible guy right after the explosion down in the crossing. He did? She claws at her throne. Then that's it. That's our suspect. He also said the smoking guy walked into the Pillar of Jor. He what? She groans. That damn freestrider. Probably high on his own damn fumes or something. My lady, it might be very, very true. I believe the culprit escaped through a crack in the gate. She squints and sits silent for a few seconds. A gate of Jor. This is an insane claim, cleric. She gives a hard stare at Snow. If this is true, then it must be investigated. Speak with Viskin. If you have not, then be vigilant. This is highly esoterical. Good thing we've got the cleric on our side. We'll see what happens. The lady takes a deep breath. I will think about this, and good luck. Alright. So, I am going to talk to Viskin tonight. I don't trust Viskin, though. I think Viskin wants power for himself. Hey, Neri, how you doing? Everyone follow Neri, a care criminal cat girl extraordinaire. She's cute and silly and fun and a fantastic streamer. You missed us flirting with the Sphinx. Pretty lady Sphinx. Oopsie. I was trying to click up here. So, where do we want to go now? We have a little bit of the day left. I might check to see if I can figure out where Nearly is during the other hours. Nearly Esoteric. Because I do want to finish her quest, and I just don't know where she is. How am I doing? I'm getting by. The political news today is god-awful, and my tooth continues to hurt. I just gotta wait for the dentist to actually have an appointment available. And I need the Supreme Court of the United States to miraculously explode. You went to the gym today. Hey, that's good stuff. Glad to hear it. Hope you had a good time exercising. How much money do I have? 437. I could probably buy something from this lady. I like that she's put a blanket over top of her gargoyle. That's funny. In this game, it would be het, so you're not that feral for it. True. However, consider this. I tried to drink a potion of transmigender earlier. So, while it might seem het on the surface, and it could be het depending on how you play the game, you can also definitely angle things towards the protagonist being trans. And then it's trans lesbianism. Unfortunately, the potion do not work because it is old and spiled. Cozy spot. Alright. so nothing actually back there. That's good to know. I could talk to a tier. I could talk to the tree if I had the tree stock spell. Would the game let you? It has to be a headcanon, unfortunately. I'm guessing it has to do with one of the things this game is talking about a lot is what it means for. Okay, so if you go high into strength, which is the like fastest route, the game talks about that as being this hard old idea of masculinity. But if you go into wisdom, which is the communist route, the game talks about how you can be masculine while accepting feminine ideas and stuff into your body. There is no actual way to trans yourself in the game. Like I said, there's a single spoiled potion. And depending on how you dialogue about it, you can heavily imply that your character wants to transition. But that is just a path you can take, and you can't actually do anything. Then again, you can't see your character more than this. You will always be wearing the blue tunic over chainmail, and you will always be wearing a helm, which kind of speaks to dysphoria a little bit. It's definitely in the realm of this is a way the story can go, and not this is the story that we are telling. Let you know when it does work. Mm-hmm. All right. But for now, questing tree. What have we got? Miss Nearly. One sec. She is the one that introduces the idea of being a bard. There is an achievement for giving her 1,000 gold. Jeez. I am trying to figure out where she is. Oh, okay, here we go. Tolstad South before 12 p.m. after talking to Miska Sageleaf. And the Drunk Sphinx after 6 p.m. Okay, so she's only there in the morning and in the Drunk Sphinx at night. So I've missed my chance to talk to her today unless I'm willing to interrupt her music, which maybe I'll do. So I can't do that. I have no leads on the hag. I need an emerald for the Gates of Jor, which it said was down inside the area beneath. If the game won't let you play as a woman, then you're probably not going to give it a second look. That's a shame. I understand if that's something that you don't want to do. I can completely get where you're coming from there. But I do think that there are games that are still good art pieces, even if you are playing a character who is male. But no worries. You like Disco Elysium, but you don't know if this one grabs you as much. It's definitely in the same realm as Disco Elysium, doing similar things. The creative lead of Disco Elysium, who had gotten kicked out, says that this is one of the few games who's playing in the same space that he likes. But if you don't like it, that's completely chill. Alright, so I could talk to Etir. That might be my best option at the moment. Hey Z, welcome in. How you doing? Hope you're okay. Hope you're doing well. Oh, this is solved. The difference between this gray and this white is a little insufficient for my eyes. I have no idea where the Lost 6th edition is. I'm talking to Viskin after midnight. Oh, right. We said that he has the emerald. I need to get a date for this. I need to find the missing paladin. I've had no luck on that. I could talk to Darrow and see if I could get the papers legalized. And I can look into milk. I don't care about that as a quest. So I could talk to Darrow and I can talk to Etir. I think that's it at the moment. I want to drop a save real quick. Who do I want to talk to? Not that you don't like it, it just doesn't grab you as much. That's fair. That is fair. It's easier to get into something where you can either make something that represents yourself or have a character with which you share, identity. It's why it's so important that more games and other pieces of media include, female representation, trans representation, queer representation, ethnic representation of different ethnicities, and so on and so forth. People want to see themselves in media. It makes it easier to connect. Was there maybe something with it here where Snell was giving me disadvantage? I don't remember. It's been too long. Hey, it's here. Cleric. Yeah, get to know her better.
You will falter. Before the steps of divinity, your manhood crumbles. As you ask about religion.
Right. We need to talk about religion. And I have disadvantage because Snell is here. Gotta take off? Yeah, no worries. See you, Orion. Everyone make sure you check out Orion. And have a great rest of your day. With a -3? Okay, I don't think I'm going to try this. I think what I need to do is later tonight in game, after I've dismissed Snell for the evening, I will try to talk to it here, and I'll put on all my strength equipment to help me get through here. What do you think about the goblins? What information do you require? Pretend I'm not here. He steps further into the corner of the guard tower. How are they, as people here on Tolstad? Weak-willed and powerless as individuals. A creature that survives through reliance on the group and on greater creatures. Ouch! That's not fair. They're clearly stronger than they look. Turn around and give Snell a thumbs up. He gives you a nod with an expression that says, kiss more ass while you're at it. Her eyes glance at you. I would describe humans the same way. You hear a chuckle in the back.
She speaks truth.
Fair, we are weak alone, strong together. She nods slowly. But I do not see it as a negative.
Warmth. Her soul opens.
The voice softens. Humility and trust are important traits for all. Agreed. That is what I think. What else? Alright. Do you sit here all day or what? No, cleric. That's fair. You're not really sitting, just kind of floating. That is correct. When the Coin Lord does not require my services, I attend to the archives, from dawn to dusk normally. Then I perform a patrol, as described in my service contract. Service contract. A written declaration of an oath, often used when those involved don't have a trusted deity or higher power to swear on. Sounds contemptible? Contemptible? That's the best you could do? Yes. Those feelings are very human. My service is to the Coin Lord. She is bound by duty, but where does her heart lie? Alright, did that affect my DC at all?
No.
Alright. Let's try talking to Darrow. Oh no, I can't talk to Darrow. Huh. Under the hints... One sec. If I go ahead and... There we go, strength. Let's put on our ogre gloves. Let your faith guide you with the bucket on your head. Still haven't found the ant colony either. Okay. We want to keep Meek on. Let's put the tooth in the place of our ion stone. Not great, but... Climb the branches. Okay, up we go. Ooh, friendly local druid helps too. With a heave and a hoe. Great job on your climb. I'll stay down here though. I kind of appreciate that the feat bonuses aren't accounted for. That you have to keep them in your mind and you have to be vigilant that they're happening. I think that's interesting. You made it. Lovely. So I can have an apple. I have an apple. Ooh, and 3 shards of Jor. Jeez. Apple. And an apple. And an apple. And then there's nothing else but this branch. A branch from the majestic apple tree in the magistrate's yard. Climb again. Hey, we did it again. Even a hoe. You make. Oh, okay. I just have to make the check every time. Kind of thought that it would be a different thing, but okay. All right. Inventory. We'll put back on our boots, and we'll put back on our ion stone. So I can't talk to Darrow. Hey, 7-stream streak. Congrats, Z. Surprised I can't say more to Darrow. Kind of feels like the kind of thing. Maybe I can only talk to him after midnight as well. Maybe his door will open up. What can I do right now? I guess I could go and try and get the emerald from the Demi-Lich. That seems a little scary, but something we could do. Probably want to put on my advantage against bureaucrats thing again. Oh, there's a rat over there. I want that rat. No, it's not the rat that I need. Or if it is, it's hidden itself quite well. I'm very curious where the other rats are. Alright, down, 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 down. Down, 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 down. Down, 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 down. Where was his tomb? It's interesting, we still have another... oh, I guess I can't go that way. Another one-way door. Something glitched there. Okay. I heard another rat. Someday I will find my last 2 rats. Okay. So. Let's, again, save the game just in case. Just in case I die. The skull floats in front of you with a permanent smirk and wide jeweled eyes. Cleric! So loud. Yeah, that. Can I have that emerald? For what? I'm going to ask the local Sphinx to turn it into a key for me to enter the beyond through the Pillar of Joy, or I can't tell you, it's a secret. Be mysterious. I'm going to try the secret path first. Then no. Come on, please, begging in an annoying voice. Oh, okay, fine. He grabs the emerald with his teeth, makes a clicky noise, and tosses it to your chest. Go wild. You're unsure if this guy ever was smart, or if this is just his mind slipping into an undeath fugue state. Either way, it's a win for you. Now, to return to the Sphinx. Hell yeah, that worked out. You did immediately clock strength as fascist in your last playthrough and immediately decided you hated strength. One sec. Still same playthrough, but also I want to... Can I bring this up somewhere? Maybe in my journal? No. Okay. The game makes it no secret. When you are picking your stats at the beginning of the game, it tells you immediately what each of your stats' political affiliations is. So you at least you won't get punked into anything. I do appreciate what strength is bringing to this conversation. But yes, it is. That does mean that it is wrong. It is theocratic. It is a theocratic fascist. It is wrong. But I like what it brings to the conversation because I think that this game's primary. Oh, you meant last time I was streaming the game. Yeah. Sorry. I think that some people who are going to play this game are going to be cis het white moderately privileged men who like Dungeons and Dragons, and those are the men that the podcast community are after, that the male loneliness epidemic is preying upon, telling them that they deserve to have a wife, that they are owed this and that and the other thing. And I think that having this game tie that into strength, the stat that is associated with heroism and questing and killing the monsters, is a good way to get them to see why their argument is flawed, by forcing them to confront the inherent fascism of these thoughts and expose them to other political ideologies. Completely fair to hate strength, but I really like what it's bringing to the conversation. One thing that I love Disco Elysium, but one thing that it does kind of have as a very minor flaw is there is no reason to play that you will go down the fascist Harry route unless you are an extreme racist fascist already. Whereas Esoteric Ebb, I feel like, is going to expose you to the other ideologies no matter what, because they're tied to your stats in a way that will force people to have this conversation, which I think is very good. I intend to write up a big review about this game once I've finished my first playthrough. Well, I have the emerald. That makes life easy for me. Let's get out of here. Did I finish the thought? I think I finished the thought. I think I said everything I had meant to say from the start. But yes, I definitely I'm most associate with wisdom, which is the thought associated with communism, and the thought associated with empathy, and the thought associated with femininity. And the other stat that we are leaning on is Constitution, which is gut instinct. cool, put it that way, you get it? Yeah. I like that this game is going to force a bunch of generic D&D nerds to have to think about their ideologies and not let them just easily slip under that grasp of the media domination that fascism has right now, that the Republicans have spent so much money on. Like, we know that the modern TERF movement, the transphobia that is fucking decimating our country and other countries, was funded by fucking Jeffrey Epstein tossing money into video game discourse so that they could disempower us. And J.K. Rowling, who is now very rich, making it a personal wedge issue, in part to keep herself wealthy. Wisdom is also typically one of a cleric's most important stats in D&D. Absolutely. So, like, a typical player is, if they know nothing about, like, the political affiliations of this game and they just know their Dungeons and their Dragons, they're going to probably put their wisdom fairly high because it's their most important stat in D&D, and they might put their strength up because, you know, war cleric doing combat. They're unlikely to put their dexterity up, which is fine and great. In fact, dexterity is the capitalists in this, and that's going to be the, like, silly, goofy, I'm a disadvantaged person but somehow think that capitalism works. Disco Elysium's the same way. It's fine that one's tanked. You might put a few points in Constitution, which is fine. Constitution, I think, is very interesting in this, but it's also not vital. They might put points into Intelligence because they like to feel smart, and because this is a detective game. And Intelligence is also going to make them have to confront themselves, because what Intelligence says in this game is that you should be the king, is that you should be in charge because you think you're smarter than everyone. And having that tempered by your high wisdom telling you to be empathetic is important. And then you might put in Charisma as well. Yeah, wisdom is tied to a cleric's spellcasting modifier. Mm-hmm. You also might put in Charisma because you might know that this is a talkie game, and then you have to be confronted with the, do you really want to approach conversations as a game to be won angle that Charisma is. So I really like that the game very smartly and without making any thematic mistakes is going to push you towards wisdom, which is going to give you the talking points that you're meant to be drawn towards, while any other stats you put are going to make you have to confront the problems therein. It's a very well designed game. They did a very good job thinking about how you can explore these topics without, being ham-fit, like trying to force something that wouldn't fit otherwise. It really feels like it makes sense that wisdom is communism, and strength is fascism, and dexterity is capitalism. It's very, very smart game design. Okay, I spoke with a tier. I can't speak with Darrow. Oh, right. I picked up the emerald. We can go talk to the Sphinx and she can enchant it. I'm also very tempted to pull from the deck of many things that we got. So much temptation. Alright. Hello, ma'am. The Sphinx takes a sip from her barrel of wine. I could ask her what the door behind her is at this point, which would be very funny. Alright, I need help entering the Pillar of Joy. I see, may I? Sure, hand her the emerald. There it is. Yes, there it is. She grips it between two claws, holding it up to her large cat-like eyes. You have a vision. A terrified mouse hanging by its tail. There's no reason to feel bad. It's just an inanimate object. Wait. She hands the gemstone back to you. Huh? It is done. I've attuned it. Already? The esoteric is not always so showy, you know, says the massive sphinx drinking out of a barrel. She lets out a purring laugh. Take this stone to the pillar, and it will allow you entrance. In fact, it will remain open for any of your companions as well. It's a sad look she's giving you. I hope to see you again, cleric, if you survive the journey. I'll be back. I always come back. She bows her head. The Sphinx is worried for your health. Very interesting. This does feel like end of the game kind of stuff. But I have so many things left that I can't really follow as leads currently that I don't really know what else I can do. Alright. So let's head to the pillar. We should enter where our suspect entered. Oopsie. Another thing I like that doesn't come up as much in this game, but that one of the characters talked about, is alignment, which is I don't like alignment. Pathfinder 2e did away with it, and I think it was the right decision for them to make, or a right decision for them to make. But this game wants to keep within 5e's frameworks, and so it does have alignment. And you talk to a guy about it whose entire thing is studying alignment, what it means, and talking about it being intention. What's a lawful action, a good action, a chaotic action, an evil action? Well, did you intend for it to be good? Did you intend for it to be evil? That's what really matters, is what you were trying to do, and not necessarily what you did. I also like that their distinction, good and evil's very typically selfish or selfless, and that's what they do here, and I think that's fine. But I like that lawful versus chaotic is about building versus destroying. Lawfulness is about building systems, building power, building laws, and chaos is about taking down hierarchies, taking down laws, taking down barriers. Very interesting. And was spoken about earlier in the stream when we had some leftist infighting to deal with between the I think I forgot to mention this at the point. The young radical we need to do things character, her alignment we beheld as chaotic neutral. She wants to tear down the injustices that exist. Whereas the moderate, we need to work within the system guy is about building up. He wants to build up their stance. He wants to build up democratic socialism. You definitely lead chaotic, which is why you don't make a good cleric unless it's a trickery cleric. That's fair. I think, I don't know how it is exactly with D&D because I haven't looked at their clerics in forever. I haven't played D&D in a long time, and I might be getting into a campaign of it eventually when my friend's current campaign is done. But that's still a ways off, and the class I'm looking at for that is Monk. In Pathfinder, there is a cleric for everything. Whatever you want to be devoted to, whatever cause you feel is worthy of having a god, there's a cleric for that, which lets clerics be a lot more nuanced and multifaceted, which I quite like. You're a sorcerer main. That sounds right. Sorcerers are fun, and it feels like it would fit your personality quite well. So I'm usually the game master. I've kind of been the dedicated game master for most of my life as a tabletop person. When I do play for D&D or for Pathfinder, I typically try to explore new space. I rarely play the same thing twice. I don't think I've ever actually played the same thing more than once. The character concept I'm coming up with is a monk, but I might go fighter with them. For a one-shot, I made a damn pure ranger who was like a superhero. I've played my friend's custom class, the tactician, which is kind of like a fighter-themed bard. I played a bard in my time. In Pathfinder, I really like the commander as a unique class that they have. I really like the kineticist. Your sorcerer is a trans metaphor? Hell yeah, always a good time. This isn't the door that I want.
or this isn't the pillar that I want. I've gone the wrong way because I've been distracted talking about politics and gender and Dungeons and Dragons. Yay, you didn't miss Mivstream? You didn't miss Mivstream! Hi, Mischief. You did miss us flirting with the Sphinx, though. You wanna, if you want to, Neri, I'd be happy to hear more about your sorcerer. That's always fun stuff. Why do I have a ping here? Oh, because I have... Oh, I can take root on the Gates of Jor. Interesting. I might do that in a minute. Care package. Thank you, Emmy. It should have been me, not her. Teleport into the video game. Oh, you know what? It is about time to wrap up. Let me get to the pillar. If I can remember how. That's what we'll start with next time. Through the door. If this is, for some reason, the end of the game and I'm just vastly ahead of the curve for whatever reason, I don't expect myself to be, but I might be. Which one is Central Tolstad to the river? Okay, this is the one I want. Then we might like reload and do some more exploration and then come back properly. But that's, I think, where we're going to leave here in a minute. Oh, congrats on your 60 stream streak, Mischief. She was a little tiefling boy who broke into a wizard's supply closet and fused her own body with the blood of a gold dragoness, thus becoming a tiefling/gold dragon lady. Got art of her, they're not all safe for work. Ain't nothing wrong with that. The sorcerer was almost your VTuber persona. There was already a trans femme VTuber named Demon Queen Vivi, though, and you wanted to stand out. Hey, that's fair. I think Naria Care is really is a really good username. So, like, at least there's that silver lining. I'd love to see some of the art, and if you're not able to already on my server, let me know, because we've got an area for not safe for work art. I just have it. You need to request a role from me in order to be able to see it. But yeah, I'd love to see the art. It sounds like a really fun character design. Also, tieflings and queer experience doing the handshake. All right. Wow. Good job getting here before the end, Mischief, because we are going to end there. Actually, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be Graveyard Keeper for a couple of streams and a couple of streams at the start of next week. Then we'll be back to Esoteric, and when we return, we will enter the pillar. Naria Care came from the street name of a child rogue you played. Hell yeah, that's a cool concept as well. I've never played a character named Mivlia in tabletop, but the name came about kind of because of tabletop related reasons. But was basically something I came up with too. You want to grab that roll? All right, I'll send it to you once we wrap up stream here. As always, you guys can follow me on social media. We got an ad break coming. I'm going to try to outrace. Come find me there or on Blue Sky. And if you guys wouldn't mind, grab yourselves a raid message or make your own. Get out of here, ad message. You're in the way. We're going to go raid somebody. Who's online? Who's online right now? Hildy's doing 428. Should be a scramble. Val's doing miniatures. Anything else? Cookie's doing Mina the Hollower. Let's do that. Let's go say hi to Cookie.
She's BRBing right now, but that's fine. Alright. Oh, no, she's not. Twitch was lying to me. Alright. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Take care, everyone. Bye. Bye-bye.